In this video, I will show you how to download Sentinel-2 satellite data from this Copernicus dataspace portal. Now, just a quick note before we get on with it. Some of you might wonder why Sentinel-2 specifically. Because if you do a bit of digging, you will realize that there are actually a number of different Sentinel products like this used for different purposes. And I'm not really going to get too much into this, but just know that Sentinel-2 is actually one of the most commonly used products, specifically when it comes to various applications in domains like land use mapping, environmental change monitoring, and these products do get updated quite frequently, and they're available absolutely for free for anyone to download and use. So this is the platform that we're going to use to download these products. It's called Copernicus Dataspace Ecosystem. And you can just simply head over to dataspace.copernicus.eu to get to this page. And once you're here, you can click on this Explore Data button to actually get into the portal, through which we would be able to filter out exactly the data that we need. And after that, we can just go ahead and download them. Now, you can browse around anonymously without really needing to have an account. However, when it comes to the data downloading process, you're going to have an account with this Copernicus data portal. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and log into this portal first. And if you're doing this for the very first time, of course, you're going to have to use this option to create an account for yourself, which is not really going to take that much time. And once you configure your email and password, you can just simply go ahead and enter those here and directly log into the portal, which is exactly what I'm going to do right now. All right, just like that, we are in. And on the left-hand side, you can see this sort of panel through which you could sort of go ahead and refine your search. And on the right-hand side, you do have a map like this. So the first thing that we're going to do is decide which specific area we're going to download our Sentinel data for. Now, one of my main intentions for downloading Sentinel data is actually to perform a flood analysis and a mapping task caused due to the landfall of a few tropical cyclones that affected the South Asian and the Southeast Asian region sometime in late November in year 2025. And if you had seen the news, you probably might have come across this event. So I'm going to pick one of the countries that was badly affected by this disaster, which is Sri Lanka. So as a part of my demonstration of downloading Sentinel data, I'm just going to pan my map and zoom into Sri Lanka. Or you could just simply use this search box to search if you do know an exact location, if you're doing this for a different part or a different area in the world. So I'm just going to search for Western Province. So it kind of zoomed me into that particular region. And then if you want to specifically sort of mark out an exact location or maybe a rough area, what you could do is you could use one of these tools to sort of perform that selection. I usually go with this rectangle option, and what I do is I would just create a rectangle like this and do a very sort of approximate selection in this manner. All right, now since that's done, let's hop over to this panel that you can see on the left-hand side. And if you pay attention to this part of this panel, now there's a drop-down menu right over here. And if you check the different products, you can see that Sentinel-2, which is the product that we're going to go for, is actually among all of these other Sentinel products as well. So since Sentinel-2 has been selected, we can directly jump over to these other two selections. And out of these two, I would usually go with Sentinel-2 L2A. And the reason for picking this option is because if you kind of go through this description right over here, it basically tells you that the data has been atmospherically corrected, which is the one that we would usually go for. So I'm just going to make sure that we have selected Sentinel-2 L2A. And from right over here, you can select a specific date or a date range, which you're looking to download this Sentinel data for. From the information that I gathered, we do know that this particular event happened somewhere towards the end of the month of November in year 2025. So I'm just going to pick a date range. And to pick a date range, you're going to have to select this option right over here. So as the starting date, I'm going to pick, well, first of all, 2025, and it was the month of November. So as the starting date, I'm just going to pick 24, and the corresponding flood events did last for a number of days as well. So I would just pick maybe, let's just go with 1st or 2nd of December, like this. And typically we would aim for a data set that has less cloud coverage. So I'm just going to set this to about 8%. And when it returns the results, I would like this portal to order them based on the cloud coverage so that I could pick the one that has the least cloud coverage. All right, that's pretty much it when it comes to doing the filtering based on our needs. And after that, we can simply go ahead and click on this Find Products within selected time range option, and it'll do the search for us, which probably might take a couple of seconds. All right, so based on the information that I entered, you can see that it basically found 2 different tiles for me. And as I hover my mouse point over these 2 different products, you can see the area that's going to get covered. And it picked basically 2 different tiles that fit the criteria that I was going for. And you can see that if I go with this option, it basically entirely covers the area that I selected, while the second dataset only partially covers it. So obviously I'm just going to go with this option. And if you pay attention to some of this information that has been stated right over here, you can see that, well, one of the most important things is actually this sensing time. So just make sure that you notice this. So this indicates that this dataset corresponds to this particular date, 30th of November 2025. And I'm fine with this because I do know that this is actually one of the dates where some of these flood events kind of peaked. So I'm totally fine with this particular date. However, if you're looking for data for a different date, you obviously would have to adjust that date range that we specified during the filtering process. So I'm fine with this dataset. So I'm just going to go ahead and download this dataset by clicking on this button right over here. And since it's a relatively large dataset, it's obviously going to take a couple of minutes for the downloading process to complete. All right, as you can see, the downloading process is complete. So I'm just going to go ahead and open up this folder. So as you can see, it's going to be a zipped file. You're going to have to extract this. So I'm just going to right click and say, well, extract here. And again, in this file name, do notice that among a number of different things, you will find the sensed date right over here, 2025, 30th of November. And inside that folder, you'll find another bunch of folders. What you're looking for is basically this folder right over here, which says Granule. Head over to that. And inside that, you'll find another folder called Image Data. And inside that folder, you'll find these 3 options. These are 10 meter, are 20 meter, and are 60 meters. And these are nothing but spatial resolutions. So what they have done is they have basically grouped the data into 3 different spatial resolution groups. And if you open up the folder which contains data with the highest resolution, you're going to find a data set like this. And among this, you will see the different bands. For example, band number 2 over here, band number 3, 4, 8. And depending on the type of analysis you're going to do, if you just need these 4 different bands, then definitely you can opt to use this dataset with the highest resolution. However, if you are in need of Sentinel data corresponding to different bands other than this, you probably might have to check out these other resolution categories as well. For example, if I open up this 20 meter category, you'll see that it has much more information starting from, let's say, band 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we have a band 8A, and we have band 11 and 12 as well. Now, if you didn't really have much of an idea about what each of these different bands actually mean, you can use this table to figure out which band corresponds to which particular wavelength, and thereby captures information pertaining to which part of the electromagnetic spectrum. And I'm actually going to make use of this dataset for an actual flood mapping task, and I will be demonstrating that process to you guys in the next video. So if you're interested in seeing some of these applications to sort of get an idea about what sort of potential usages you can get out of these Landsat datasets, you can obviously check out the next video as well. It'll be quite helpful, especially if you're looking to do a similar analysis for your specific areas of interest as well. So I'll see you guys in the next video.